Okay, guys, so this is the third session of the practical classes. The first we have covered enterprise structure. Yesterday we covered basic settings, but in basic settings there are a few more settings which we will discuss today. Yesterday I explained fiscal year variant and posting period variant. What was the use? How to configure? So generally, if you talk about configurations and all, it's a matter of 5 minutes only, or maybe less than that. But explanation has taken lots of time because so many things, several things I had to explain you guys, and which is pretty much important in terms of your career and even in terms of your interviews and all. Now we'll cover the remaining things like here fiscal year variant, posting period variant. Now whatever the remaining is there, that we'll see one by one. Now, so today we'll start from field status variant. How to define field status variant and what is the use? Why are we going to define this field status variant? So generally, if you see the definition here, field status variant is the set of field status group. Field status variant is the set of field status group which is linked with GL master, and it helps to control the fields which appears during transaction posting. Now I'll tell you guys, whenever we post any transactions, like we'll talk about when the people used to maintain the registers and all, they're going to give lots of details while recording any transactions. Now what is happening since people started using ERP in the sense software. So the same thing which were being happen or which were being done with the help of registers and all, now we are using digital registers. It means ERPs, softwares. So in software, while posting a transaction, whenever we record a transaction, we have to give several details on which date we are going to post this transaction, what should be narration, which GL is going to be debited, which GL is going to be credited, and there are many more other things also. Other fields are also there which we have to fill up: document date, posting date, reference key and all. Now, so whatever I said, those will be explained once we post a document. But before posting of documents, we need to have GL accounts. So before creation of GL accounts, we need to do lots of settings, and before that we have to have org structure and basic settings. These are the mandatory settings which we must have. So document posting will come later. Still, it is going to take 2-3 classes. Then this document posting part will come. So there we'll talk about this document date, posting date, or whatever I have explained. So now, if we talk about document posting, as I said, lots of fields are going to appear. Now here, if you have to, like, say for example, here I have shown. Let's suppose these are the fields like value date, assignment field, text field. Here you can give the narrations and all. I have just pasted and a screenshot. While posting a transaction, these kind of several other fields also will appear. So now what will happen if your client says that you do one thing, while posting a document, lots of fields are coming and it is bit creating bit kind of confusion for us. Why? Because every field we are not going to use, and it is true. See, I'll tell you guys, whichever fields appear, hardly 20% of the fields we are going to use. Remaining 80% are fields are like not being used. Okay, so every fields are having a different importance and all, and as I said, like SAP is supporting more than 350 countries and all. So Anyway, so 20-30% of the fields only we are going to use. Remaining 70% are not going to be used. Now, uh, if the client says that whatever fields are appearing in those fields, like few of the fields, you just suppress it. Means suppress in the sense you just remove this, because we don't want to see these fields. We don't want this field to be appeared here, because it's a kind of creating a, confusion for our end user, in the sense whoever the users are there from client side while posting a transaction. Okay, if that is the case, during support, generally this requirement will come. Okay, so while posting a transactions, if you have to control the fields, like client says I don't want this field here, so what we'll have to do, that requirement will be met. Or if you have to suppress, if you have to remove the fields, in the sense if you have to hide it, then what will happen, these requirements can be met with the help of field status variant, or so-called field status group. Generally field status group comes under field status variant itself. Okay, so whether you say field status variant or you say field status group, both are equals, both are both will be the answer. If somebody says like I have to uh, hide certain fields while posting a document, so how can we achieve, how are we going to meet this requirement? So this requirement can be met through field status variant or so-called field status group. Now, how to define this field status variant? See guys, here while transaction posting, as I said, like see here assignment field is there. If the client says I don't want this field, so what we are going to do, during configuration, here assignment number is there. We are having three fields: suppress, required and optional. So if they don't want, we are going to click here on suppress. Okay, and right now it is appearing here in editable mode. Why? Because the here this radio button is there. We have clicked on optional entry. It means whether you enter any details or not, it doesn't matter. If you want, if required, you can enter the details or leave it blank. Now the middle one is called required entry. Like sometime what will happen, some people will say that this text field is there. This is text field is going to be used for narration purposes. If you see the old ledgers or old whatever the transactions uh, people used to post earlier, so there they used to give certain narrations also. So now in SAP, where to give narration, in text field people are going to give certain narration regarding whatever the transactions are being posted. If you want to add some additional information, here in text field we are going to add. So if somebody says like narration must be there for each and every transaction, whenever the user is going to post the transaction and all, this narration must be entered. Okay. So if narration field is like optional entry, then what will happen? If user is going to enter, it's okay. Even if the user has forgotten to enter these details, and if he is going to or she is going to post, the transaction system will allow to post. But if we click here on required entry, in that case, what will happen? This text field become a mandatory field. It means user must have to give certain narration while posting a transaction. If the user is not going to enter any details here in text field, then what will happen? While posting a document, system will throw error. So how this will happen, that is matter of practical. Once we start the document postings and all, I'll show you guys how it is going to happen. Right now, theoretically I have to explain, and I'll show you guys how to create this field status variant. More clarification you'll be getting once we start document posting. There you can see this practically, so that 100% understanding will be there. So now let me create a field status variant. So we have to create a field status variant. Transaction code is OBC4, and this field status variant we have to link with your company code. In the sense, we have to assign this field status variant to with your company code also, because Several field status variants are there. Now, how SAP will come to know that which field status variant we are going to use for Tata Motor? So first of all, we have to create, and then we need to assign that field status variant to our company code. So let me create first. Okay, so I logged in here. Now let me create a field status variant. Use transaction code OBC4. Here you have to type transaction code OBC4 and press enter button. Now here it's not like that we are going to create a new one. Generally, whenever you have to create a new one, we have to copy this 0001, which is the standard field status variant given by SAP, which is already created. So you have to copy always 0001 or you can copy 1000. So copy 0001 and make it your own field status variant. Give a code here, like our company code is TM10. So here for field status variant also I am going to give the same code. Why I have given same code? So that it will be easy for us to remind, or is there is no any kind of restriction that you have to give a different code or you have to give a same code. Whatever you wish you can give. There is no logic also, guys, that field status variant this code I have to give and all. There is no any particular logic, and even if you go in real time and if you are the part of implementation, this we are not going to discuss with the client at all that which code we have to give and all. This is totally your decision. Whatever you feel you can give. Okay, so here I have given some description like Tata Motor field status variants and all, and this then press enter button. Once you press enter button, then see here system is showing copy all, copy only one entry. So click on copy all. Click on copy all. Always click on copy all. Then what is happening? This number of dependent entry 41 got copied. Press enter and then save it. Press enter. Now select this field status variant. We have created our field status variant. So select this field status variant and double click on field status group. How to select? You need to click here and then double click on field status group. So see, inside a field status variant we are having several field status group. Okay, I just double click on any of them, double click on any field status group, and then see here we are having several fields, like double click on general data. In that only this assignment field, text fields are optional entry. Remaining all things are here suppressed. It means these fields will not appear while document posting. If you post a document, if you post a transaction. See guys, in SAP language, if you post any transaction, that is called document. It means if you post one transaction, people are going to say that we are posting one document. Okay, so there is no difference at all. The only thing is like whenever you post a transaction, system is going to generate a number. That number is called document number. So which is why people are very much habituated to tell like I have to post a document. If somebody says that I have to post a document, it means I have to post a transaction. It could be related to your revenue, it could be related to your expenditure, it could be related to anything. Okay, so now here this assignment number and text fields are optional entry. It means these fields will appear when you post a transaction. Remaining these fields will not appear. If you want to make these fields appear during transaction posting, you need to click either here If you click here on optional entry, then invoice reference field also will appear. If you click here on required entry, then this reference field will become required. While posting a transaction, you must have to enter certain details here in reference field. Then only system will allow you to proceed further. Okay. So I'm not going to make any sort of changes here right now, because as I said, like once we post a document, practically I'll show you guys, then you'll be having better understanding. Right now I just explained what is the use of field status variant. I just saved it. So we have created our field status variant, that is TM10. This is the field status variant which we have created, that is TM10. If you want to check, you click on position and give TM10 here, press enter. Oh, sorry. It's already here. This is the field status group. So TM10, we are already, TM10 is there. Here inside of field status variant, we are having several field status group. Okay, so these field status groups will be assigned to the GL master. I'm not going to discuss in that details and all, because GL master we have not started yet. So that will be covered. That is a separate topic. We'll explain at that point of time. So here field status variant we have created. Now click on back button. This green color button is back button. So see here we are having several field status variant. If you click here upper, go up. So see several field status variants are there which is created by other people, and even few field status variant, standard field status variant given by SAP also. So now what will happen? So whatever field status variant we have created for Tata Motor, how system will come to know that Tata Motor is going to use which field status variant? So what we have to do, we need to link this field status variant with our company code. How to link? The transaction code is OB05. Sorry, OBC5. So now we are already in one screen. From here, if you directly want to jump to OBC5, then what you have to do? Slash N OBC5 we have to use. Press enter. So now we jump from one screen to other screen. Click on position. Give your company code TM10. Press enter here. And here what we are going to enter? TM10 itself we have created as a field status variant also. We have created our field status variant, and that code we have given TM10. So I have assigned here. Now save it. Press enter button. Okay. So this is how we have created our field status variant. Now, what next? So after creation of field status variant, what next is there? Now we are having another important topic, that is called tolerance group or tolerance limits. This is also important setting, and this is also mandatory setting, guys. What we are going to do here in this setting, actually, if you talk about tolerance group, sometimes people say tolerance limits also. This tolerance group or tolerance limits refers to a way to make sure that employee do not exceed their limits. Okay, employee do not exceed their limit in terms of amount or discount. Okay, now what will happen, guys? I'll give you I'll explain a small scenario here. Before explaining tolerance group, I'll give one example. Okay, now let's suppose in an organization like Tata Motor or whatever your client is there, in that three people are there, A, B, and C. Okay, now what is happening? This all three are close friends. Okay. Okay, guys. So all three are close friends. Now, if we talk about any organization, what will happen? Everybody will have a different activity to perform. Now, say for example, we are having account payable team. Account payable team, if you talk about a big organization, then several people will be there, the part of those that account payable team. Every person will have a different roles and responsibility. So Uh, in account payable, what is happening? We are going to handle all this vendor related activity, like vendor invoice we have to post, and then we have to post the payment also. In the sense, we have to receive the invoice from vendor, and then we have to make payment also. Okay. So now what will happen? Say for example, these three are close friend, and of course, Tata Motor is going to use certain ERP. Before SAP, they are using certain ERP like Tally or any other ERP, small ERP. Okay. Or even let's suppose if the SAP itself implemented, if they want to make a fraud, how it can be possible, I'll let you know. Mr. A is responsible to set up vendor master in SAP. It means whenever company is going to enter with any contract, like if company is going to buy anything from any vendor, so a vendor master need to be set up in system. There will be a separate class on this. I'll just try to understand my scenario, try to understand the things which I'm going to explain. So we have to set up a vendor master, and vendor master, it doesn't mean that only one, two, three vendor will be there. Thousands of vendors will be there. So every company will have a master data team who keeps on maintaining their master data, vendor master, customer master, etc., etc. So this A is responsible to set up vendor master. B is responsible to post invoices, like whatever invoices. If we purchase something from any vendor, what will happen? Vendor is going to send you an invoice along with the goods. Okay. So once you receive the goods and invoices, what you have to do? Let's suppose we receive the invoices, so we have to post this invoices in SAP. Why we are going to post? Because if you post this invoices in SAP, then system is going to create a liability. You'll come to know that this much amount we have to pay to so and so vendor, and after 30 days, 40 days, 45 days, whatever the things are there, whatever the condition and agreement is there with the vendor. Now let's suppose we are having a contract with the vendor that once we receive the invoice, after 30 days we have to make payment. It's okay. So after 30 days, what will happen? Mr. C is going to make payment to that particular vendor. During making payment, what will happen? C is going to post the payment, and system is going to print a check, okay, by the name of that vendor, and that check will be delivered. Now here, if all three are close friend, what will happen? They can make a plan, and A will say that I'm going to create a vendor with the name of XYZ something, a fake vendor I am going to create, XYZ Limited. Okay. Now B will say, once you create the vendor, you let me know. I am going to post an invoice of 1 CR at a time. It means without invoice, what will happen? Like with against this vendor, they are going to B is going to post an invoice worth of 1 crore rupees, or maybe more than that. I'm just giving an example. Then C will say that, okay, once you make this postings and all, you let me know. I'll make a payment. Next day, I'll make the payment. Okay. Next day, C is going to release the payment of 1 CR. A check will be printed. Okay. Let's suppose the check is getting printed. Now, what is happening whenever the checks are getting printed? Then this check will be produced in front of finance head for signatures and all, because once he give the signatures, then only the check will be valid, and then it is going to hand it over to the different vendors or whoever the respective person is there. Now the finance head on daily basis, he used to receive hundreds check, and this he is having 5 years of experience, and he knows like he is a very honest person, and till now there is no any kind of frauds and all. So what will happen, 1 year 2 year, he'll keep on observing, he'll check each and everything, and after that what will happen, blindly they are going to put down the signature, because 100 checks are there or 200 checks will be there. So that is there, that is the part of their daily routine. So what will happen, he is he gave the he put down the signatures, because 100 checks were there or 200 checks were there, in that itself in the middle he kept this 1 crore check also. Now what will happen, the check was issued, and what and this is how it's possible to make a fraud. This is how it's possible to make a fraud. Altogether can make a fraud of 10 crore rupees also. Now I'll tell you guys, if somebody is working on a salary of 20,000 rupees, even if they spend their entire life also, it is impossible to save 1 crore rupees. So this is a kind of way by which they can do this. Okay. Now, so in order to control this kind of fraud, SAP is having several solutions, out of which one solution I am going to explain here. What will be the solution? The solution will be, we are going to have a control on this transaction posting. What kind of control? So SAP says that we'll do one thing. We'll create a tolerance limit. Okay, we are going to create three different kind of tolerance limit. We are having a tolerance limit where we can give a limitations, like those whoever the entry level people are there. Entry level people means this ABC, whichever these kind of employees are there who is posting the transactions and all, entry level people, they cannot post a transaction which is more than 10 lakh. Okay, it means for entry level people, they are having limitations that they can post transaction up to 10 lakh only. Now whoever the TL level people are there, okay, TL or manager level people are there, they can post transaction between 10, it's not like 10 to, they're having limitations, like they can post transactions till 1 crore or maybe 50 lakh rupees, let's suppose till 50 lakh they are having limitations. And whichever the transactions are there which is more than 50 lakh, it means like you can say unlimited, like this 10 times. So if this is the case, then what will happen, this will be posted by, this will be like entry level employee, this is by TL manager, and this is by senior manager or whoever the lead, like finance head is there. These people are going to post such kind of transactions. Okay, so this is how we are having this kind of limitations we can create. Now what is happening, we have created a tolerance group. We have created a tolerance group, like here I have given a code like TM10, here TM50, and here I have given TM99. These three tolerance group we have created. We have created, try to understand theoretically guys, if you understand then practical is very easy. Okay, So these three tolerance group we have created. In TM10, we have given a limitations till 10 lakh rupees. If you see here in PPT, what PPT is saying here, we are having this kind of limitations will be there. This amount I have given, so 10 lakh rupees. And so 10 lakh rupees I have given here for this tolerance group, TM10. Now, for TM50, this is for TLs and managers. It means these people can post a transaction till 50 lakh rupees. And this TM99, it means unlimited amount can be posted. Now, these three people are there at entry level. We are having two people, like let's suppose D and E. They are in to TL and manager, and we are having one more guy, Mr. F. So what will happen? Whatever this A, B, and C user IDs are there, those user ID we are going to link here in this tolerance group. This is called tolerance group. So this A, B, C is going to be linked here. A, B, and C will be linked here with TM10. Okay. This D and E will be linked here with TM50, and F will be linked here with TM99. So what we are going to link? We are going to link their user ID. Okay. If I logged in into SAP system here, okay, what will happen? I am having a user ID here. See my user ID. This is my user ID. So system will identify, system doesn't know who am I. Okay, whether this is Kumar or Ranjan or Sabha or Virendra or whoever it is, a system doesn't know anybody. System knows only user ID. That okay, this is X user ID, this is Y user ID, this is whatever the ABC, whatever the user IDs are there. So what I said, we have created tolerance group, and with that tolerance group we have linked the user IDs. User ID of A, B, C with the first one TM10, D and E we have linked with the TM50, and F we have linked with TM99. Okay. Now what will happen? Now in this case, if these three people are making a plan to make a fraud, then what will happen? Then A will create a vendor master, and B is going to post a transaction of 1 crore. The moment he will post a transaction of 1 crore, then system will search, okay, this transaction 1 crore transaction is being posted by which user ID? System found the user ID is belongs to B. Then system is going to search this user ID. B user ID is linked with which tolerance group? So system found this is linked with TM10. Then system will come to know in TM10 we have given a restrictions of 10 lakh rupees only. It means B can post an amount of which is should not exceed 10 lakh rupees. Okay. And even while if the B has posted invoice of 10 lakh rupees, then if C is going to release a payment, how much he can release? Maximum 10 lakh rupees, not more than this. So this is how, if they are planning to do any kind of fraud, then what will happen? Everybody are going to get 3 lakh rupees as their part, and for the sake of a small amount, I think people will not do. Even apart from this also, we are having lots of other restrictions also. It's not like I'm saying that making a fraud for 3 lakh rupees also is easy. Even that is also impossible, but we are having lots of other checks also. I'm talking about one right now, which is the initially we got this tolerance group, so I have to explain. So this is how we are going to have a control, or else even we can make it smaller. Instead of 10 lakh rupees, we can make it 5 lakh rupees or 1 lakh rupees. Depends upon the organizations. Like if the organizations are getting 90% of the transactions are there, which is below 5 lakh rupees, then what will happen? We'll make it 5 lakh rupees here. We'll make it 5 lakh here, and whatever the 7-8% are there, that is between 5 to 50 lakh. So here we have given 50 lakh, and only 1% or 0.5% transactions are there which is more than that, then here we have given that. So what will happen, till 5 lakh of transactions, whatever 90% are there, that will be posted by ABC. It means this user ID easily. If it is exceeding, then what will happen, these people are going to refer this to their TL or manager. That's how we are having a transaction which is having a value more than 10 lakh or 20 lakh rupees. So now you post by your own user ID. And if it is exceeding 50 lakh rupees, then what will happen, whoever the finance head is there or whoever the senior manager is there, they are going to approach him that we are having a transaction which is more than 50 lakh rupees, kindly post. So these kind of checks are there, guys. If you talk about real time scenario or real time things, in real time, of course, people are not going to follow these all things. Why? Because as I said, like rules are made to breach, and managers will be always manager. Okay. So whatever the 5 lakh rupees worth of transactions are there, that will be posted by you. And even if it is more than 5 lakh rupees, like 20 lakh rupees worth of transaction is there, then what will happen, once you approach your TL or manager, they will say, do one thing, take my user ID and post this. So they will share their user ID, so that also you have to post. Okay. And if it is more than 50 lakh rupees, also if you approach to your senior manager and all, they can also do the same thing. Anyway, that is different. Okay. So whether they are going to follow or not, this is not our headache, but I just explained that this is how we are going to have a control on fraud. Okay, this is one thing. We are having other things also that I'll let you know, guys. So this is the use of tolerance group. Tolerance group, what is happening now, if you see the definition, now you will be able to understand. Tolerance group, or it is called tolerance limit also, refers to a way to make sure that employee do not exceed their limits in terms of amount or discount. Even discount also we can control. Like let's suppose if somebody is saying that okay, vendor is having 1 crore of invoices, they say you do one thing here, or else, like let's suppose in terms of customer will talk. Okay, if you post a customer invoices, customer has to pay 1 crore rupees. Now what you say, you do one thing, I'll just, you just make a payment of 50 lakh rupees itself, and I'll post remaining 50%, I'll give you a 50% discount. Okay, we'll post this transaction, and in system we are going to clear this liability. Whatever your liability is there, that will be cleared. So whatever 50% discount I have given, in that 20% you just send it personally to me. There may be a chances, I'm just explaining. So in terms of discount also we are going to control, like these people cannot give more than 5% discount. These people, if it is more than that, till 10% these people can give, and remaining whatever is there will be given by this finance it. So these kind of controls we can do with the help of tolerance group. Tolerance group makes sure that the employee do not exceed their limit in terms of amount and discount in financial transactions while posting a financial transaction. Okay. So now we are going to define tolerance group. Now tolerance, if you talk about tolerance group, then we have to use transaction code. We are having tolerance will be there at two level. Tolerance limits for an employee and tolerance limits for GL also. Okay. First of all, we'll check, we'll create tolerance group for employee, because that is I have explained just now. Whatever example I have given of this, whatever story I told you, this is at employee level. This is at user level. So see the transaction code OBA4, press enter. So this is at employee level. Employee is nothing but it is called user also. Now click on new entry. Now guys, I'll tell you one thing. Here there are two things. You can give like company code TM10. Okay. I've selected this TM10, and here amount per document. Okay. So if you want to give restrictions, you can give restrictions like, let's suppose I have given 1000 here. Okay. And 5% discount. What does it mean? It means, and I have not given anything in the in group. It means for this company code for TM10, every user are restricted to post a document till 1000 rupees only. It means every user. If I have not given anything here in group field, then what will happen? Every user can post a transaction till 1000 rupees only. They cannot post more than that. So what will happen? We are not going to give any group here. We are going to give a maximum limit because we have to make lots of settings. Sorry, lots of testing we have to perform. If you give a small amount, then what will happen? If you post a transaction which is exceeding that amount, then system will throw an error. For your experiments and all, you can check. You can make the experiment. Okay. I'm going to give a maximum limit, and here 5% discount I have given, or else if you want to give more discount, you can give 10% discount. Okay. Now, and here permitted payment differences. What we are going to do, see guys, I'll tell you, once you post an invoice, first of all, let me give here permitted payment differences. Like amount will be some 5 rupees, and save this. So I have not given anything in group. Keep this group field right now blank. Why? Because if you give something certain code here, then you need to assign your user ID against this group. Okay. If you give anything, okay. So generally in real time, what will happen here also we are going to keep same amount. Here also we are going to keep same amount. And during implementation, what will happen? These things are not going to be disclosed to the client. We'll give a maximum amount we are going to give here while defining the tolerance limits or tolerance group. We are going to enter a maximum amount later on once the project got implemented, and once we are giving the supports and all. At that time, what will happen? Client will come back. Let me save this first. Client will come back and they will say that are we having these kind of requirement? Then we'll say yes, it is there. So they will raise a requirement, and since that is going to be a kind of configuration, so we have to do configuration, and people are going to charge certain amount for those things. Okay, generally these kind of things are happening. So anyway, this is how we have defined this tolerance limits. We have given amount limit and discount limit also. And here what is happening? Permitted payment differences. Let's suppose we are having, like, you post an invoice of 100 rupees, and sometime we are going to receive a payment of 99 rupees itself. Like, not 99, it will be like, let's suppose 101 rupees worth of invoice you have posted, and the payment we have made or payment we have received is like in round figure 100 rupees. Generally it will be not like 101, it will be a big amount, like let's suppose 1 lakh 1 rupees, and the payment you have received only 1 lakh rupees itself. People are going to make payment in round figure. So whatever the differences are there, this 1 rupees differences. And so here what will happen? As per generally whatever the invoice is there, the payment also should be equals. Now here there is a difference, so here we are going to give like how much differences can be accepted. So till 5 rupees, let's suppose this differences can be accepted. Okay, as of now this much only. There will be some more things which I'll explain later. Okay, in which account it is going to be posted and all, that will be. So in terms of, you can give amount, or else in terms of percentage also you can give, like 1% or 1%. So here what will happen in terms of, if you see, like 1 lakh rupees we have given 1 lakh rupees worth of. So here system is, if you see the 1% will be 1000 1 lakh rupees. 1% of 1 lakh rupees will be 1000 rupees, but in terms of amount we are given 5 rupees only. So system is going to consider either percentage or amount, whichever is smaller. Okay, so you can give, if percentage is going to confuse you, don't give percentage, give the amount itself, save it, there is no issues at all. So this is how we are going to create our tolerance limits. Now one more thing is there which I'll explain here. This is for tolerance limits for user, tolerance group for user. Now we are having one more limits, tolerance limits we can create for GL also. That transaction code is OBA0. OBA0. Press enter and click on name entry. And here also you have to give your company code TM10. Don't enter anything in group right now, because if you enter in the group then you have to assign your user ID. Here you can give certain description, and debit posting, let's suppose give 10, and credit posting also 10. Now what is the use of this, guys? That there will be a separate explanation. This we are going to define for GLs. Like if we are having two GLs, let's suppose one GL is debit and another GL is credit. There are certain scenario which I'll explain once I teach you guys FIMM integration. There I'll explain this scenario. So right now, since it is a mandatory setting, so that is why we are going to do. Okay, so here you learn this how to do and why to do. Once I cover that topic, there I'll explain why we are going to do this setting. Okay, so you need to create this setting also. We need to configure this setting also. So this is how we have set up tolerance group or tolerance limits, guys. Tolerance limits we have given at employee level also, and here we have given at GL level also. Okay, okay guys, so today I have explained till tolerance group. Still we are having few more things to explain, which will take one more session, like document type, posting key, and let's see if any other things are there. Okay, so this document type and posting keys and there, this I'll explain in the next session, because already it's going to be almost 8:40. So take it guys, we'll close this session here itself till this tolerance limits or tolerance group creation. How to create this already I have shown. Okay, and from next session onwards I'm going to explain few more topics belongs to basic setting itself, and once that is covered then basic setting part will be over. So that's all in this session, guys.